Hello, my divine kings and queens. I'm back to do another video. And today's message, what was coming to me, I want to talk about the treatment that you guys had to suffer, the treatment that you guys had to experience at the hands of some very treacherous, narcissistic, unhealed people. People who were trying to block and stop you in every way. And the thing is, not only is God sitting these people down, but the things that they're going through, it's pretty much allowing these people to see that they messed up. Not only did they mess up, but that they're messed up individuals, right? And so the movie, The Color Purple, was coming to me. And because of all the abuse that Celie had to go through, and it started at a very young age, right? And she suffered this abuse at the hands of Mr. Albert, right? Danny Glover played this part in this movie. And all her life she had been called ugly. All her life she had been made to feel like all she could do was just work for people, clean, cook, the normal duties of what's expected of a woman, right? But she wasn't treated like one. She wasn't respected like one, and she was never loved like one. And right there when she was at that dinner table, right? You notice that in that part, before she got up and confronted Mr., you realize that where he got a lot of his characteristics and mannerisms from the father. The father was just as worse, narcissistic, chauvinistic type of person, like a woman should be in a place and all type of stuff. That's you see where he got it from. But it wasn't until he kept saying, "You're ugly, nobody gonna look at you." The person who he was crazy for, which was Suge, right? She wasn't even paying him no attention because she felt like he wasn't man enough for her. But he was just like, "Oh, you see, Suge, she a star. People gonna see her. See you ain't nobody gonna see her. You ain't nobody gonna want you." And she stood up. And then when she was riding off, right? She said, "Till you do right by me. Till you do right by me, everything that you think of, it's going to fail. Everything you want, it's going to fail." And this is what I'm feeling like, a lot of the people who were doing things to you, it's like they were going out here and doing things not only to try to stop and block you, but to get people to see you in certain lights that were not your own. And see, the thing is, when I tell you all the time, when people know that you about to go ahead and do something that's different, they can accept it from anybody else. Let it be anybody else, but because it's you, because of what you stand for, right? Because of how you encounter these people, whatever type of relationship or friendship you had with these people, it was always like "Oh, so you think you leaving me behind? You think you better? You think you this? Well, I'm going to take low blows and I'm going to expose this and I'm going to do this." But the thing is, they were fabricating. They were telling lies. And they thought that they was just going to get away with it. You going to go ahead and tell your enemies one time, certainly you ain't think that you was going to use that serpent tongue against me and get away scotch-free till you do right by me. I'm telling you, God is sitting a lot of these people down, because the thing is, if these people were smart enough, see, this is how it was going. The lies they was telling, right? The thing about a lie, you got to tell another lie to keep up with that lie. By the time you get to the 50th, 100, 505, you can't remember all them lies that you told in the past. But see, if they were smart enough, they would have been writing this stuff down. Right? They were smart enough, they would have been writing these lies down. Because see, the people who they were telling it to, They thought that these people were easily manipulated. And for a time, a short period of time, they were. People were believing things because you was not in the middle to sit up here and clean things up, because God did not want you to clean things up. Everything that happened in your life happened the way that it was supposed to happen. I tell you all the time, go back on my messages where I say God allowed these people to talk the way that they talked about you to whoever they did, so people could look. They created an audience for you is what they did. They created an audience, and thinking that people were going to sit up here and laugh or do things, eventually it struck something up in these people like, no, like some don't add up. So now they start going back. They go back and they try to recall lie 105, right? And this person then told so many lies, so to the point where the person come back, man, you remember when you said da 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 da? Yeah, yeah, they went and did, but I thought you said that they did. Oh man, I said that. Yeah, you right. See, the thing about it is why I keep trying to tell you, they so smart till they dumb. If they had any sense in these agendas and vendettas and all this type of plans that they had against you, somebody would have been recording and keeping a track record of all these lies and knowing that you got to tell more lies to keep up with those lies, right? But they weren't doing that. They didn't have nothing to refer back to. And see, these people they were telling to, like, I'm referring back to line number 58.2 this that and 28 point they didn't have they couldn't, and that's where people were slipping up. This is why God told you, don't sit up here, let people fall in the same ditches that they digging for you. Let people fall up in the same graves that they digging for you, because I'm trying to tell you something. These people are regretting it now. And you know why they're regretting it now? Because it's been exposed that whatever it is that they were telling you, this is how they're living. That's exactly how they're living their lives. So whatever lies was told on you, people exposed themselves, and it exposed a mental imbalance within them. Because what's being exposed now about your enemies is they literally don't have a life, or they literally don't have a brain. Because I don't know anyone who gets up. The first thing that you do when you get up, you got to take care of your hygiene, right? So you got to go, you got to bath, you got to scrub, you got to smell good, breath got to smell good. You smelling good, you feel good, right? No, who wakes up and say, yeah, plan number 53 didn't work, so we need to go ahead and go back to the drawing board, and we need to create plan number 54, 54.5 improved. We need to go ahead and recruit 3 more people to gain stock here, leave some bad commentary here. We need to get 5 more people in this corner right here. We need to go ahead and get to their families so we can go expose this and show this. But go ahead and tell your enemies one time. Till you do right by me. Till you do right by me. Everything that you think of, everything that you want in life, everything that you put your work, hard effort into, you ain't gonna get it. It's gonna fail. Till you do right by me. These are the type of people that you were around. Told lies on you. Abused you. Whether it was sexually, physically, whatever type of manner that movie was coming to me, you were abused. Either all your life, for the latter end of your life, however old you are right now. But let me tell you something, man. Never mind the people who sit up here and have something to say about you or how they treat you, because God vindicated you. You get me what I'm saying? And he did it in a way where the whole world and everybody who came up against you ain't got no choice but to see you for who you are. And the reason why that regret is kicking in is because justice has been served. And the reason why justice has been served is because people practice unnecessary evil. Unnecessary evil. You didn't do nothing. You got a lot of people that's going to hate on you because of the life you live, and they want that very same life. Friends that's going to switch up on you. Two-faced friends playing one way in front of you and then going reporting to somebody the things that you tell them. You was around some two-faced friends. You were around some two-faced family members. You was around some two-faced lovers. Everybody was two-faced. But let me tell you something. God is sitting every single last one of these people down. And he's doing it in a way where the very same things that people wanted for you, that's exactly what they're going to be going through, times 10. He wants you to focus on what you need to focus on. Because at the end of the day, and them being in this rut and being in this cycle for a long period of time, because it's going to be for a long period of time. Because, see, they kept going and kept working it. And they kept, like at that table, you know, he didn't have to go in on her like that. He didn't have to say you're ugly. Don't nobody want it. You're shy. You don't talk. You don't. Some of these people, they like I said, surely you ain't think you was that you was going to use that serpent tongue against me and get away scotch-free. That's what you need to start telling some of your enemies. Because that's exactly what they was doing. They birthed lies. They birthed lies out of that mouth. Using that serpent tongue. To try to get people to see you in a certain light. Out of envy. Out of jealousy. These people know they can't amount up to the type of person that you are. They know it. They know it deep down. And some of y'all not going to understand it. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to understand people's psyche because I tell you all the time, stop looking at what you see. People be having demonic attachments on them that pass down from generation to generation to generation to generation. And this is what I'm saying. The sins of the parents fall on the children. People be trying to figure out why generation and generation, every generation is dying in poverty, going through strife, going through hell, going through struggles. Ain't nobody trying to sit up and back out of what's the norm in order to break these curses. The world that we live in is very backwards. People don't want the truth. People don't want to hear and seek knowledge and develop wisdom. They don't want it. That is Greek to a lot of brainwashed people. Huh? When you think a certain way, when you move a certain way, when things have been illuminated to you, you can't go back. I keep trying to tell you, can't go back and say, God, close my eyes. Close and stop up my ears. You have been exposed to things that really, because it did not take you out, it didn't take you out. It made you stronger. It made you wiser. And that's because God was walking with you. And God, because let me tell you something. You better thank that man. You better thank him. Because you would not be here. I keep trying to tell you, the way that people was going up against you, you were not going to be here had it not been for him. You wasn't going to make it. It's like he took time out of his busy schedule, right? Some of these people you had to learn lessons about. But it's like these people threw you in a deep, dark pit hole, right? Put the covering over it so that you would never see the light of day. God came and removed that and came down and shedded light on your situation, allowed you to see what you needed to see. But he was there to hold you so that you wouldn't lose your mind. So that whatever was lost, whatever was destroyed, whatever type of pain or hurt, you was going to be able to get through that thing and heal yourself. That is the difference in a lot of people's situation. How they call on them, how they believe, how much they pray, what they're ready to do, when they're ready to receive. Them hurts and them betrayals that you went through was nothing. It was nothing to be taken lightly. Because a lot of people weren't here. They were not here. And they were unhealed. And so they thought the way they was thinking is, you think that you just going to leave me while I'm going to do something that's going to cut below the belt. Thinking that you weren't going to be able to live with it. That you weren't going to be able to come to grips with it. But now it's like, God forced them to look at themselves and say, well, are you going to be able to come to grips with it and live with the fact that you ain't going to never find another friend like this again? That you ain't going to never find another lover like this again? That you ain't going to never find another person and encounter another person like this again? No, not till you heal. Not till you heal. That man, he took the time. He had all these people. He took the time. All the people who was already cleaned up and was ready for the mission. He went and took the time to go find you first. Find wherever it is that people had hid you, wherever people had threw you, killed you, left you for dead. Took the time and went to go try to find you and clean you up, dig you up out that dirt, clean up off that mud that people had drug you in, shedded light on your situation, brought you peace. And he said, when I bring you up out of this, you're going to be what I say you are, not what these people say you are. I say that you're going to be great, you're going to be great. I say you're going to be successful, you're going to be successful. Never mind how people cursed you with their mouth, belittled you, hurt you, undercut you with their lies. Because a lot of people are going to be exposed. Whether they want to come to grips with it, they're going to be in a situation where they may not want to tell people the lies they told, because people are going to be looking at how deep and how foul and you know, how they went to describe it like it was the truth. People ate it up like it was the gospel. So to come back and try to clean that up now and say that it's a lie now, it's going to have people looking at them real crazy. A lot of people ain't going to want to do that, but that's okay, because God is clearing up your name. And these people are going to be left with that regret. Since they don't want to open up their mouth to do good, they can only open it up to do bad. They can only open it up to speak bad, to prophesy bad over your life, to prophesy strife and hell over your life. And they thought it was funny. They thought that mess was funny. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. But you learn that you can cope. You discovered you can make it. But these people were so treacherous. They ignored all your tears. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And this is what they was hoping. In hopes they disappeared. And you was begging and crying out to these people. It was like they was slashing you, and with every slash, they was laughing at how you was bleeding out, laughing at how you so stupid you kept standing there and like allowing them to cut you. And you was screaming out to them to stop. You tried to let it show, but you guess they just didn't want to know. And if you had a dime for every time you tried to call their name, some tell me I'll be wealthy. But hold on. You learn that you can cope. You learn that trouble don't last always. You learn that where there's the darkness, God gonna bring the light. You know that where there's pain and there's strife, God gonna bring you blessings and bring you happiness. And bring you deliverance. And bring you justice. Bring you redemption. Bring you recognition. Rejuvenated you. Restored you. 'Cause you learn that you can cope. Huh? You got through that thing. But what God is trying to tell you and telling all your enemies who went up against you, till you do right by my daughter, till you do right by my son, everything you think of, everything you want, everything you chase, everything you get down on your knees, and you gonna go through this for a while. Go ahead, tell your enemies, till you do right by me, till you do right by me. Surely you ain't think that you was gonna use that serpent tongue against me and get away scotch-free. Till you do right by me. They couldn't even remember the lies that they was going out here telling. That's what broke it. Yeah. God redeemed you. You get what I'm saying? God vindicated you, but at the same time, he say, sit back and let things unfold. And if people got a brain and they got sense, they gonna be able to understand what's the truth and what was a lie. Right is right, wrong is wrong. These people don't understand. They try to fuse it all together. Well, it's wrong if I'm right. So I might as well just be wrong. Might as well just stay and do the wrong. Might as well just keep doing bad. Might as well just keep lying. Don't nobody know the truth anyway. They ain't around anyway. Did things that you didn't deserve. Spreading lies about you that they know they were aware. They were in their right mind when they was doing it. I say don't believe that, talking about, well, I was just going through something. I wasn't right. I didn't know. You knew. They knew. Because see, the thing is, what I'm about to break this down for you right now. Listen. A person to sit up here and describe the lie. I don't know what lies was being told, but to sit up here and tell a lie as if it's the truth, you got to really make that thing, you got to show some proof. You got to add a little bit something. You got to fabricate here, pull from there. You get me? The time it take to do all that, can't nobody say that they didn't know what they was doing. The thought process and all that involved thinking about how the lie need to be told in order to defame your character. Can't nobody just sit up here and say that was a mistake and they didn't know what they was doing. The time that it took, the time that people vested in the sin up here being envious of you, jealous of you, for no just reason, no just cause. Let me tell you something. People can go down the list and create a list and say, I need you to create a list about the good and the bad about this person. Don't you know that the good will outweigh the bad for half of these people, the majority of these people who was sitting up here and using a serpent tongue to curse you, to betray you, to defame you? These are people who you did good. You did good by these people. People who bills you paid. People of whom you put food on the table for. People of whom you gave money to or did things, extracurricular things that you just paid for, whatever. Vacations, whatever. These are people who you did good by. You didn't. These people. They didn't want to be left behind. That's why they did it. In some type of sick way, they thought it would get back to you. It would hurt you. It would hit, and you would come running back, or you would come trying to clear up something. God say, let that mess go. Let it go. They gonna learn. Mark my words. See, when a person sit up here and know, just like that guilt ate him for how nasty and foul he did Celie, keeping her away from her sister, hiding all them letters, treating her like she a slave in her own home that she cook and clean. Oh my God. But who he got that from though? He got that from the Father, right? Some of these people, man, was born into this, was taught this, was shown this. But that don't excuse this. It still don't excuse them doing it to you. Someone on the line, somebody knew right from wrong. Someone on the line, they knew what was right, they knew what was wrong. They still chose to do wrong. So go ahead and tell them. Till you do right by me. Till you do right by me, everything you think of, it's going to fail. This is just a thought. It ain't nothing you trying to bring into fruition. This ain't nothing that you sitting up here and you trying to set the foundation. You just a thought. Oh, I just wish that $100 would come to me by the end of the week. I just wish. It's going to fail. It ain't going to come. These people think they're going through a series of unfortunate events. They think that they're experiencing a cycle of bad luck. But what they are experiencing is everything that they dished out to the wrong person, of whom they know was undeserving of that mistreatment and on that unnecessary evil that they practiced. This is what they're going through. They think that it's just a series of unfortunate events, you know. Hey, I made $300 yesterday. I'm in the hole by $500 the next day today. But hey, at least by the end of the week, I'll have $800. Nope, they're going to be in the hole for even more money. And more money, and more money, and more money, and more money. And God going to hit them where it hurt. He going to hit them where it hurt. Because you have to understand something. The predicament that people placed you in, trying to get others to look at you. I mean, y'all really encountered some real life devils. And it's like y'all are going through and experiencing a Cinderella. This is your Cinderella moment. Because God is turning around everything that people meant for bad and for evil. And he's turning it around for good. He's dressing you up. He's giving you this moment to shine. To step into what he needs you to step into. It's like he was telling you, you my project. You my project. Never mind what these people think about what you've done. Because it all had to happen. You had to know what it felt like to be ostracized, to be excluded, to be outcasted for the actions that you had done, right? Because I was once outcasted. You had to go through and knowing what it felt like to not have, to lose family, to lose friends, to have people of whom are very close to you betray you. Go through great struggles and experience downfalls and upheavals in your life to the point where people are going to know and see your transformation, and they're going to know that I had a hand in it. Not that people don't know me, but through the miracles that I bring into your life, it's going to place me back on the map. And people going to know that I mean the business. They going to know that I mean the business. Don't play about mine. I don't play about mine. Till you do right. Till you do right. Until you do right. Sat up here and it's like these people are trying to discourage you and break you because deep down inside they wanted you to be on their level. But God said the devil is a lie. Surely you didn't think that you was going to use that serpent tongue against me and get away scotch-free. That ain't what we do around here. Told so many lies they couldn't keep up with them. At some point, they didn't even know nobody was still keeping up with the lies. Seeing that it didn't affect you. You still going ahead and being blessed. You still going ahead and achieving all the things of which they said you would never. Some of these people mad that you bossed up, man. Instead of being appreciative, this is what I don't understand. Instead of being appreciative and trying to get in good with the person and knowing that the person about to blow, they about to pop. No, people rather be jealous of it, be envious of it, try to back up from you, go against you for it, look at you as a foe instead of an ally. When all you ever done to half of these people, to the majority of these people, was help them and love them and be a good friend. They had to be two-faced to you. God said, leave them in the dust. Because just as sure as I tell you that it's the right time and go ahead and pop back on the scene, and when I tell you, when I mean when you pop back on the scene, you better apply pressure, they going to want to come back. They going to want to come back. And you ain't going to let them back. Because let me tell you something, the evil that these people practice on you was to the extreme. I'm talking about extreme humiliation is what it brought you. Extreme humiliation to the point where they were doing it around others. And let me tell you something, these people are being hit too. This is why these people are backing up. But God say it's too late. It's too late. You was part of the treachery. People didn't have a brain. It's like they was sitting up here being recruited like they some minions. Yeah, go ahead around there and gang stalk there around there. Half these people is bold and trying to stick up and put thinking that they trying to put you in your place. And God say, kill these people with kindness. Because I know that you know that we know what's about to happen and where it's about to go. They probably don't know, but kill them with kindness anyway. Try to play you like you a sucker, like you stupid, like you don't know what it really is out here. This is why they tried to kill you. You got to understand something. Why that spiritual warfare was so great, because you was going to open your mouth and speak had you made it out. That is a testimony. That was a spiritual test that led to a spiritual testimony. I'm trying to tell you something. They had to shut you up. They had to try to take you out. They had to try to take you out. I keep trying to tell you, because had you made it, you was going to be able to testify on all the things that these people took you through. And it wasn't going to be no question of what's the truth and what's a lie. Because it's see, the thing is, keep trying to tell you, nobody was keeping a record of these lies. So they was dealing, see, they thought everybody was just a dimwit. Get what I'm saying? They was dealing with some people who really, they weren't on their side, but they really weren't on your side. It was in between. They needed some concrete proof. These people is like seeing is believing. And what they was seeing was that what they were saying about you, it just wasn't in alignment, but they still yet wasn't sold until you started opening up your mouth and they started putting the pieces together. Because they was hearing what this person was saying and then looking at what you was doing. Then they was looking at what you was saying, and half these people know these people or these groups of people, their mannerisms has been exposed. So they was like, hold on, okay, so you saying this, but I seen them like this, but then I know how you are, so then what they saying, they line up. This is why God told you to back up and let it unfold naturally. These people practice unnecessary evil. They practice unnecessary evil. And these people of whom they put above you, or whatever it is that they was putting above you, I keep trying to tell you, it ain't going to mount up to a hill of beans. They ain't even going to want to be in it, but they're going to be stuck in it. Because God don't need them. God, that's God's way of blocking them from coming back in your life. Whatever situation that they went and ran towards, they're going to be stuck in that for a minute. And that's going to be the justice, and that's going to be the receiving, they're going to be on the receiving end of everything that they dished out in that situation. Everything that they dished out, they're going to be in the receiving end, and they ain't going to be able to get out of it. So like for you, it was a short temporary cycle. Pray for them. That's all I got to say. Pray for them. Pray for them. Because you know what that was like. Thank God it was for a short and temporary time. I keep trying to tell you, these people's telling lies, man. Telling things about lies about you and things that you had done, but in all actuality, they was fabricating. They was fabricating on the truth, and they was sitting up here exposing themselves for who they really were and what they like doing. And no one could put two and two together. Don't you know that that's... When you, this is why I'm saying people ain't gonna be able to say, oh, I didn't mean it was a mistake. You knew before you open up your mouth and you, like how I'm speaking, I know what I'm about to say, right? You knew that was a lie when it came out your mouth. You knew that wasn't something that somebody would do or had done. In some cases, it was things that's like these people were exposing their characteristics and exposing their mannerisms, but trying to assume a different identity and cloak who they really were. Like I'm keep trying to tell you, these people did it out of envy and jealousy. They wanted people to see you in lights that were not your own. But go ahead and tell them, till you do right by me, but you learn that you can cope. Let me tell you something. In that moment that people broke you, right? In this moment that people broke you and showed you who they were, Take that as a blessing. Because had you not known how weak and shallow a lot of these people were, you would have kept them around you. And still to this day, you would have been experiencing some delays. And because you had the wrong energies around you who did not want to see you succeed. It could be anybody else. Sarah, Mary Jo, Bob on the corner. But because it's you. This is how you know you're special. Because what is it about you so much that make people want to go out their way to be so envious and jealous of you? To want to not receive or be happy with the things that you are achieving in life, the milestones that you're crossing. Because people know. They know you was something and not to be messed with, but for whatever the reason, they had to go against the grain. They had to go against the grain. Because they didn't know themselves. They didn't know themselves. Some of them didn't love themselves. A lot of them wasn't true to themselves. But that's not your problem. Where it became a problem, though, is where they started intervening and trying to block what it is God had for you. It became a problem when they started using that mouth and that tongue of theirs to birth lies, to cause conflict and confusion and drama. Unnecessary evil that they didn't even have to practice. They didn't even have to do it. They got a joy, a fulfillment out of this. This is what I'm saying. When people go and tell your business to people who don't even know you, right? It's because something about them, some deep-rooted insecurities that they got. They like to hear anybody, it could be anybody, say any bad thing about you, but say something good about them so that they could be like, you see, yeah, I'm better than them. You see, yeah, you see, yeah. But when you know better, you do better. We're not here to judge. We're not here to dwell on the situation. But I am here to tell you that justice is being served. And these people ain't going to come out of it until they get right. This time, they ain't going to have no choice. Just like he didn't have a choice, and the dad still tried to come in and say, well, you know, you need to get you another woman to go ahead and clean up this mess here. What that Danny wasn't having it. He say, no, I got to go ahead and make it right. Went and got them letters, got them papers, and allowed Celia to see her sister in the end. She had the home she had, and he got out the way and stayed out the way and was eventually happy in the end. But all that hell she had to suffer. All that hell she had to suffer. Mistreatment. Cruelty. But she got hers in the end. And then he learned a very valuable lesson. Because the woman he wanted didn't want him back. Where he thought his life was going to end up, he had lost a lot. And it wasn't what he expected it would be. He didn't get the favorable outcomes that he wanted, right? And in the end, Celie got it off. All that hell and strife that she went through. And when she got on that train, it's like, I'm free. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. I'm telling you, that's how when she got on that train, like she felt so free. Like she was going off to her new beginning. That's what God gave you for all that hell you went through. You heard so many nights, cried so many hours, trying to make it right. You just didn't have the power. And see, these nasty people, they ignored all your tears. Yes, they did. in hopes they disappear. You tried to let it show, but you guess they just didn't wanna know. But you learn that you can cope. You learn that you can cope. This is what I'm saying. That's why I say don't dwell on it. Even though, like I say, these people are being dealt the hand. They're being dealt the hand that they gave to you initially. God say, boop, boop. And God gave that hand right back to them and said, no, you go through it. You don't like going through that, do you? You don't like being looked at like this, do you? You don't like being not appreciated. You don't like being, you like being appreciated, but you don't like being in a situation where don't nobody appreciate you, right? Huh? You're not getting back what you put into a situation. You don't like going through that, right? You don't like when people lying on your name. You don't like when people see you for who you truly are. These people don't want to be seen for the liars that they are, for the haters that they are, for the jealous and people that they are, for the envious people that they are. Manipulative, betrayers, haters, they don't want to be seen. But did everything to try to make people look at you in lights that weren't your own, but don't even want people to see them for who they truly are. They don't want people to know that they was this hateful and vengeful towards you behind the scenes. Because you know why? It wouldn't make no sense. It wouldn't make no sense. It wouldn't make no sense to come out and tell the truth of how they went against you. The things they spoke on you were lies. The things that they had done to you, it wasn't right. The actions that they took against you wasn't called for. They don't want to come to the forefront and say, well, what I practiced, it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary evil. But let me tell you something. For those who know that what they was doing, there's a lot of people who know that they was what they was doing. And they jumped on the bandwagon. Half of them didn't even know you. Like I said, used that serpent tongue against you and was rallying up people. Now they had a whole slew of people to go and sit up here and laugh like that really do something. To sit up here and get others to look at somebody and laugh at him and mock him and joke him. This is why I keep trying to tell you, people wasn't in their right mind. They knew what they were doing, but what I mean by not being in their right mind, they allowed them demons to use them to go up against the chosen one. And now them demons then fled and left the scene and left them to go through everything that they had did to you. This is what I'm saying. The devil come to steal, kill, and destroy, but it's up to you. We all have free will. What type of energy are you going to invest into and step into? That of the good, that of the light, or that of the dark? They chose to invest in that dark energy thinking that, oh, they was going to have some backup. And then realized, no, partner, ain't no backup coming. Now, the devil done fled the scene and laughing at them and all the hell that they going through. They brought it on themselves. But you had your backup. That's why God told you to keep it trucking, keep it pushing. And now these people gonna understand. Ain't no series of unfortunate events. Ain't no cycles of bad luck that just poof out of nowhere. Till you do right by me, you play with it and think that it's a game. Till you do right by me, everything that you want and think of, it's going to fail. Because they use that serpent tongue against you. You better tell them, surely you didn't think you was going to use that serpent tongue against me and get away scotch-free. And until next time, my divine kings and queens, I want you to stay prayed up. I want you to be blessed. I don't want you to let this to affect you. A lot of this is a old cycle that you've come out of. But now the hand, they're being dealt the hand that initially they tried to serve to you. They're being dealt that same hand. And They brought it on themselves. But I want you to understand that you've already come up out of these cycles. And God brought you out of it because you learned. You learned. And you discovered yourself. You learned yourself. You discovered yourself. And you started to love yourself. You know how many nights I cried myself to sleep? But before I would get into bed, I'll just do this to myself. And I'll hug it so tight. I'll hug me so tight. Like, self, I love you. Self, I love you no matter what. I love you. I'm not embarrassed of you. I'm not ashamed of you. I'm so proud of you. Started hugging and loving myself so that I would not feel this need or this codependency to be attached to someone else to give that to me. And in getting that from that person, it came with attachments, dark attachments. When you expect these things from other people of whom you really do not know. So you have to start giving it to yourself first. But in order to give it to yourself, you got to back up from everybody else. Build you up before you attach to someone else. You get me what I'm saying? You'll save yourself a lot of heartache and pain and strife because this world ain't getting no better. And you don't know a lot of people. You don't know their mental setup. You don't know their soul. You don't know because you can't see it. There's something that you got to pay attention to. You got to pray about because people really good at hiding things and lying. Okay? So I want you to be happy. And I want to tell you just, I'm proud of you. That of everything that you've been able to overcome because it's not easy. And you know that you're strong because it's a lot of situations. If people had to step into what you had to step into, they couldn't walk a mile in your shoes. So that go to tell you right then and there how strong you are. If people had to group up together to try to destroy you and talk about you, tell lies on you, God blocked it all and protected you. So until next time, I want you to stay prayed up and be blessed. Understand that we ride together, we slide together. Continue to bring others to the JC gang. Reach one, teach one, get these messages out there. Let's grow our family. And understand, y'all already know I come with that real, I don't come with that fake. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it a buck. Y'all already know that I'm your big sister. So until next time, stay prayed up and be blessed. I love y'all.